before the Bauer signing is official. I'm very handsy today. I'm moving my hands a lot. Before it's official, they need to make a roster move. Either way, it's currently at 40. There's a few dead weight bodies on there. There's some options to just straight release. There's some options to trade guys that really have no place on the team. There's that
Right.
opportunity where if they want to wait out and put there's what Tommy Kenley and Caleb Ferguson are both not going to start the season healthy. So those are 60-day IL guys. If they wait, spring
Right.
training's what, less than 2 weeks away, so they can put them on the 60-day IL, announce it just before spring training. Similarly, they did that. It was a couple of days before camp last year with Mookie and David Price. So those are the options. But
Right.
what do you think happens in actually player movement and this? There's a lot of ways. Again, we could go with the position player, DFA Luke Raley, trade David Price, which we've seen a lot of people suggesting
Right.
online today. What do you think?
I think there's a lot of value. Obviously, it doesn't help or it doesn't hurt you to have too many starting pitchers on your staff. That's not something that's going to hurt you too much. But I think there is a lot of value in moving David Price, and I know that's not something everybody wants to hear. Obviously, you want the lefty mix in there a little bit, so that is part of the factor. You obviously have Kershaw, and you would think Julio long-term in the starting rotation, but you just never know how they're going to move people around. But if you're going to move David Price, $15 million of his contract counts towards the luxury tax. So that's going to offset whatever it takes to sign JT if you're thinking in terms of that. But also if you're just talking strictly Trevor Bauer, gives him a roster spot for now. But who's going to take him? I don't know. The Angels really need starting pitching and probably would be willing to pay too much because they have a bad franchise that doesn't know how to do anything. I personally would love to keep David Price. I think that he's good for the team. I think he's good for the clubhouse, the atmosphere, everything about it. But you just never know how they're going to think. But simple solution: move somebody over to the IL.
Yeah, that frees up spot. We still got to figure out again the JT thing. We didn't, besides JT, we didn't necessarily get anywhere with that. And if they don't re-sign JT, somebody like Matt Beatty, who we've suggested really needs a change of scenery, just because he deserves an opportunity to play. Matt Beatty all of a sudden becomes important because he can play some third base, and they're going to need to change some options up there. I liked on the Angel front. I liked at Nettle Court on YouTube says Angels are so dumb. I mean, their owner is, and I just wanted to make sure I threw that in there because it's a great comment. It's well thought out and factual. So, thank you, Nettle Court, for sharing.
Appreciate that. It's definitely helpful to us. I do you think that they realistically try to move any of their starting pitching? I mean, that's a big question to me. Like, aside from the Justin Turner argument, aside from the finding a roster spot for Trevor Bauer, do you think they try to move any of these guys? Because they have young talent that they can move back to the bullpen and create just like I mean, let's be honest, a ridiculous bullpen. But the bullpen is also pretty good as is.
Well, there's different schools of thought. You're going to trade value. If you're going to trade the guys, somebody like Tony Gonsolin or a Dustin May, and go get a Jose Ramirez, you trade from your source of strength, from an area of strength,
right,
where you have a lot of starting pitching help, and there's more kids down in the pipeline when you're looking at Josiah Gray, when you're looking at Edwin Uceta, you're looking at even like Mitch White or something. There's people that can fill some of those starts if they need to, if there's enough injuries, if somehow they make it through D-May and all that. So you do have those options to turn to move in a trade and go get somebody like that, or even if they go the Chris Bryant route, which has been kind of off and on floated out there. You're freeing space. You're probably saving some money there if that is the plan. But again, now like we've mentioned, what's the point of saving money? They don't need to have the Cubs kick in a bunch of money on a Chris Bryant deal to when we're already so far over the luxury tax. So it's just brain soup of different thought processes there.
I say trade a bunch of the young guys for Matt Chapman. Just go all in. Just screw it. Go for the season. Get our third baseman.
That would be by far the best move. I don't know. I mean, it might block Cody Hosey a little bit, but we
got room for him. There's a lot of infield.
You got talent. do you find a way to dump Kenley as the money dump, which I don't think Kenley Jansen is tradable. I don't think he has any value to any other teams right now, even though he had a decent year, statistically. But I just don't. That's my take. I would not trade for him on my team.
Number one, in regard to Kenley Jansen, he does have 10-5 rights, which means that he has to obviously be involved in any trade. But I think I had seen it mentioned somewhere today, somewhere surrounding our good friend SD Dodger Tim, that if it was made clear to him that he's not the closer, that he might take that and run with it and maybe accept some sort of trade anywhere. I don't know who's going to take him. I don't know who would take him on, but I mean, he's got $16 million counting towards the luxury tax this year. So that's a little hefty toll. And for a reliever in decline, that's a really hefty toll.